Okay, now that we have set up our rush hour screen, and you'll notice the cars and trucks are in a little bit different order, but it doesn't really matter. We can move them anywhere. What we're going to be doing is actually putting together scripts for each of them to reset. And that means go back to the start. If we have a look at our rush hour program, we can see that all of these start in a particular position. So let's have a quick look at this. As you would have seen from the document, and I'll just scroll up to it, this grid represents the grid that is on the rush hour problem or puzzles. It's like an XY Cartesian axis. And obviously this line on the horizontal line is the X and the vertical line in the middle is the Y. Each of these marks go up 50 steps as far as a car or a sprite goes in Scratch. So this is 50, 100, 150, negative 50, negative 100, negative 150, 50, 100, 150, negative 50, negative 100, negative 150. So we need to keep these numbers in mind when we're looking to position our cars. So let's go back to the puzzle and have a look at where these cars are. Okay, so here we are at the puzzle again. Let's look at the green truck. Let's start with that one. Well, here's our y-axis coming down here. Here's our x-axis going across here. So the truck here on the y is negative 50, negative 100, negative 150. So it's between negative 100 and negative 150. So the number that's in the middle of those is negative 125. On the x-axis, it's actually in this line here. Here's the x-axis here. Here's 50. So this must be the 25 line right in the middle of the truck. So and we're always looking for the middle of the sprite. So the points for the green truck would be 25 because that's the X and negative 125 because it's a Y. So let's go to our puzzle. Let's go to our green truck. And what we want to do, let's just check, make sure we've got our answer right. Yep, that looks right. So back we go to our truck. Now what we said was the green truck, that was 25 for the X and negative 125 for the Y. One little issue here that we haven't done, and I'll just go back here, is we need to actually rename these. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to rename it blue truck. So I've renamed it blue truck and it's in the right position. All right, let's go on to the orange car. So first of all, I'm going to make orange car. No space. I've renamed it orange car. So let's have a look at our puzzle. Our orange car is right over here. So the middle of the car is on the y-axis is on this line here coming through. The middle's right there. And the x-axis, it's down the middle here. So x-axis 50, negative 50, negative 50, negative 100, negative 150. That means that the x has got to be negative 125. On here, y-axis 50, 100, that's the negative 100 rather. That's the center of the car. So it's a negative 125x, negative 100y. Let's go back to our orange car. negative 125, negative 100. So that's right. We've set this up. How do you, by the way, how do you do this? All you do is go to events and you put in, you can see when I receive reset. So when I receive reset, and I'll explain how we're going to call that out in a minute, then we're going to put in go to, which will be our motion. We want to go to this one. So it's negative 125, negative 100, you can see here. And that's because we're on the orange truck. And let's get rid of that one. All right, that's two of them. Red car. Let's have a look at the red car. Red car is, the middle of it is that line there, which is 0, negative 25 for X. And then this line, here's X line here, it's 50. So we've got 25X, 25, we've got negative 50X is the middle. That's that line coming up here for this axis. And then this line here is 25Y. So it's negative 50 for X and 25 for Y. So let's go back to our red car. And our red car, we'll double click it. And it's negative 50 for X and 25 for Y, which is what we said. So that's good. That then works. It's sitting somewhere different at the moment, but when we press reset, that car will return back to where it should be, which will be up here. All right, what's our next car? Let's have a look. We've got our green, we've got our red. Let's go to the blue car. Now the blue car will be 50, between 50 and 100, so it'll be 75 for X. Sorry, 50, 100, that's negative 50, negative 100 for Y. That's been between, so it's negative 75Y, that one. And then on here, here's our middle axis, 50, 100. So it's 100X, negative 75Y. So let's go back to our puzzle. That was, oh, sorry, which car was that? The blue car. Gets a bit confusing sometimes. The blue car, here we go. And we double click it to make sure we've got it. And we want 100 for X and negative 75 for Y. Why doesn't that sound right? 100, yes it is, that's right. 100 for X, negative 75 for Y. So let's just check that again. 100 for X, negative 75 for Y. So what you'll need to do is go through and choose all these starting positions as far as where they are on the graph and use one of these. So it's an event, putting in when I receive, and then it's a motion, go to a particular point. All right, I'll do the rest and then I'll explain what we need to do then. And we're also naming each car or each vehicle by the name. So that will be yellow truck, blue truck, purple truck, red car, green car, blue car. Okay, so I have renamed all of these sprites. So blue, just realised that says blue truck. Okay, fix that. So they all describe now what they are and what colour they are, and that's going to be important for later. The next thing I've done is put them all in place. So if you click on each of them, you will see that I've set up when I receive the reset from events, Then I've got the go to from the motion menu and exactly where they should end up at the reset or beginning position. Now we can't get them to move by themselves. We have to get an event to start them off. So I'm going to put a button. So I'll get a new sprite. I'm just going to use the ball. That will do. Put that in place. Now I'm looking for an event, and the event be when this sprite is clicked. What happens? Well, it's going to send a message, and from our events we will use broadcast a message. There we go, and the message we want is reset. Let's test if this works. So I'm going to grab all these and move them all over the place. Doesn't matter if they're over top of each other. Hopefully this will work. All right, so when I click this button, they all go back into their position, which I hope is right. Let's have a look. Yep, that looks pretty good. So now we've set up the second part of this project, and that is to be able to set a program that will reset the vehicles back into their starting position. Okay, the next bit that we're going to do is, and this is probably the most complex bit, is to get the move in sequence so we can get the red car to drive out without having any prangs. So that will be the next video. We'll show you how to do that.